Oh, hold on. Oh, well, too late now. Welcome, everybody, to TPIM SR Live. I'm your host, True Power is Mine. I got a very special guest today, looking through wolf's eyes. This lady believed in the show enough to want to come on here and share with us the information that she has pertaining to brother Nipsey Hussle. All right. Now, she does have a wildlife reserve down in Florida, but she's been following the Nipsey Hussle's case now for basically since it's happened. And Wolf Eyes, you still there on the line?
Yes, I am.
All right, hon. Now, welcome to the show, brother Marty. I'm just going to shut up now. Could you please tell everybody just a little bit about yourself, whatever you feel comfortable about, and then get into the Nipsey Hussle?
Yeah, I just, I have a sanctuary down here in Florida, and I was in my living room one day and saw that Nipsey Hussle got killed, and it grabbed my heart as soon as I seen it. I thought, oh, this is crazy, So I've been following the case, and I've been staying up all night long, 24 hours, just working on this case. But I noticed a lot of things that weren't really true and some things that were true. And one thing everybody's going on is they're sitting there saying Holder came to Nipsey and Nipsey said that he was snitching,
Right.
To me, that's like coming over here and the Native Americans were already here and sitting there saying, they discovered America. The white people are kind of off, okay?
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I said just a little bit. I mean, if you consider saying that Jesus is a white guy and Adam and Eve are white people, yeah, that's a little bit off.
Yeah. So anyways, it wasn't about snitching at all. I mean, that's not a reason to kill somebody. What happened is Holder wrote a song about Nipsey saying he was going to kill him and everything else, and then had a picture of Nipsey in the video that he created. Okay. I have that video to prove that that's what it was all about. But it wasn't about snitching. He went there with guns to already plan on killing Nipsey. So let's get off the snitching stuff and let's get down to the facts, okay?
Okay.
As far as his case goes, they have it confidential. I don't believe they should have it confidential because OJ didn't have it confidential. None of the celebrities in the past ever had a confidential case. And I feel like doing is they're hiding behind what's really going on in court, to be corrupt.
Right. Now, I'm sorry,
go
Wolf.
ahead.
I'm sorry, Wolf Eyes. I didn't mean to break your momentum there, but about Dr. Sebi or Sabai.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Now, do you think that played a role in wanting to really ultimately silence Nipsey? Because let's face it, Purdue Pharma, Bear Aspirin, all these people do not want you, sister, to know how to heal yourself out of your front yard.
Yeah, it could be true in a way because they all seem to be psychos out there in LA. You never know what to expect. But, I do the herbal thing too. I can cure cancer and different things.
Hold on.
And I've saved a lot of animals.
Can you share with us your medical? Now, hold on. For legal reasons, Wolf Eyes is not practicing medicine unless she has a medical license. We're talking freedom of speech, and we're sharing a conversation about natural remedies or old way medicine. Now, that being said, Wolf Eyes, please, could you share with us your cancer knowledge?
Well, the fenugreek is an herbal, and my mother came to me, and she was very, very, very sick. And she fell, broke her hip, and she had cancer all throughout her body. So fenugreek is like a powder. You get it, it's an herbal, and you put a teaspoon of it in a cup of hot water. And you drink that night, once in the morning and once at night for 30 days, and it will get rid of the cancer. So 3 cancer doctors could not find cancer with my mother, but hospice ended up killing them anyway. So don't ever take your loved ones to hospice because, a lot of times people think that the cancer is eating them up to where they can't even think straight. No, it's the morphine that they give them, to overdose them and kill them.
And that
So
you also use that oxy hydrodome. It's sort of like what heroin users drank or whatever. And let's face it, when we're dealing with end of life issues, hospice job is to ensure your loved ones die. Like, when you go to work building a house,
yeah.
the end goal is to have a house built. Well, with hospice workers, I mean, this is the truth, and you probably don't want to hear it. With hospice workers, the end goal is for your loved one to be in the grave or in the crematorium or whatever you do with the body after the spirit leaves.
Well, that's not what they told us, because they told me and my daughter that the reason why they wanted her into this new hospice was to give us girls a break from taking care of her.
God,
you know
and what? Who gave Mom a
and
break?
Even the guy that picked up my mother in medical transportation said, "You know that they overdose them and kill them, don't you?"
Yes.
And I said, "Oh no, my mother doesn't even have cancer. She's just, going in because they told her she'd get steak dinners and they treat her really nice. It would give us a break." No. And then they killed her.
See. Who gave Mom a break, sister, when she was changing your diapers, when she was up all night, when you had a fever, worried about if you're going to make it through the night? Who gave her a break? See, that attitude there of having to be a break from your family, from the one who wiped your butt, the one who gave you nourishment, the one who gave you love. You shouldn't want to be a break from that. You should have told those hospice people, get the hell away from my mother. Get away from her.
I told them that. My mom was crying. She said, I want to rot here, in my house. And it was funny because she didn't even come up here to see me because I had wolves and I had a high head count. But, she ended up loving them and sleeping with them. And she just was worried so much about them, but not to get off the subject. But they talked her into it, and she said she'd go, to go on vacation. They promised her a rose garden. They gave her a field of sand spurs. She got there and got me really upset. No. I couldn't leave. I didn't have any money for a cab. My car broke down. I didn't have a wheelchair. I would have walked her all the way home.
That's what it is.
I know I walked all the way out there.
but that's because you're a good daughter. That's because you loved your mom. Seriously, that's because you're a good daughter. Yeah. Now, I know this is a little bit off, but could you please talk about the wildlife sanctuary that you got? Because I'm an animal lover, and I want to have a little bit of joy. What good are you doing down there with the animals? And then we get back to the Nipsey Hussle.
I really try with the animals, but I've always wanted to tell my story. I have books out on Amazon, and I'm an artist, and I have artwork at the Ringling Art Museum. So I think I have a lot of talents because my parents never showed me really any love, and I was always trying to impress them with something. I used to trick ride along the highway, ended up in the paper, standing on my horse's back. I always had white horses. So this theory about white horses means death, and you can just toss that out the window. But I have white horses, and they're great. Wolves don't hurt people and stuff. They're timid, and unless you breed them with, shepherd or something. I mean, I wouldn't do that. I'd breed them with a husky or something like that. But they make the best pets. I mean, they really do. If you're allergic to a dog, you won't be of a wolf.
No.
And
do you have a way for people to get the puppies for the wolves?
Do what?
Like, where would a person? Because a lot of states have a lot of regulations when it comes to wolves. Where would a person even get a puppy, a wolf pup?
Oh, you can go. I have groups on Facebook where you can go and get them. I just people are advertising them. Well, we just call them wolf hybrids, and you look on Facebook and you'll come across my groups. But I have about 800 groups on Facebook. I cover every topic you can possibly imagine. But yeah, so here's what happened to me. I mean, you're not going to believe this, but the court system is so corrupt. I'm having a really tough time. But I mean, there was a man that moved in behind my house. I live in the forest, in the Croom Forest. And he moved in behind me and wanted my property because it was the only property that could go into his 80 acres that he bought. And they were doing all kinds of stuff to me. They wanted to make a golf course back there and everything. So what they were doing is trying to make me miserable. Leave. And they offered me a price for my place. I said, no, I don't want to move because I had to put up double fencing everywhere all by myself, and I didn't have any help. And, this is my home,
Yes,
so
that's your
they
home.
sat there and they came out here one day and shot all my animals in my backyard for no reason at all. And I about had a heart attack over that, watching that. And they've been making a lot of false things said about me. Every time, I'd get a couple dogs or something, or huskies or something, they would lie about them. They said on one case that they attacked some lady's sheep, and she never even had any sheep if you did an aerial of her place, off Google Maps. But they framed me a lot. They just tormented the heck out of me. They set my house on fire, all my vehicles on fire.
What? Did you ever call the county sheriffs, the deputies? Did you?
No, they were all in on it. They were all in on it because they wanted me to move to make this development where all these people were going to see all these dollars, and so I feel Nipsey. I know what he's going through. I mean, the harassment was unbelievable. I mean, it was like they were doing things 5 times a day. I didn't know whether I was coming or going. I had to fight real estate brokers. I had to fight heavy equipment operators. I had to fight rescues that saw dollar signs that they got my animals. I had to fight a lot of people all by myself. And, they were so brave because I was single. They were so brave that they came in, like there was smoke in my house. I was cooking. God, don't ever come here for dinner. But there was smoke in my house, so I took my 3 dogs out in the front by the front door, because it's all closed in, just in case if somebody left the front door open, they'd be contained.
Right.
So I was out there with my computer, and it was 3:00 in the morning. I came back in at 3:30 in the morning and brought them back in, and they ran down the hallway to the back of the house, but I was set up again. They took my animals, and at 4:00 they were clocked into animal control. And I thought, you son of a bitches! You came in my house, no search warrant, never a search warrant.
Patriot Act.
Took my animals, huh?
That's the Patriot Act. I was just talking to my wife about last night. After the Patriot Act, they don't need a warrant for real to come up in your house. We're under a tyrannical system already. We're in a state of emergency. Don't forget, it was never rescinded. We have the Patriot Act so they can come into your house, because of 9/11. We are living George Orwell's worst wet dream nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah. So, it just, they did so much to me, and there was a man's hand on the back door, and the sheriff goes, oh, we can get fingerprints. I said, you're a liar, because I had 2 investigators. I had the county investigator, and I had Blevins investigator came out here, said, your animals did not break out of your yard. Somebody took them. I mean, they kicked in my fence, and the dumb jerks, they sat there, opened up the big privacy section, which was the gate. After they kicked, so the board was halfway in the yard and halfway out of the yard and shut the gate. Now, dogs aren't going to do that. I mean, there was so much evidence to show that they came in and took my animals because they were not outside. They were inside. And then they constantly come in here and take my animals, and they lie about them and throw me in front of the judge. And the judge lies. He said on the final judgment that I didn't even question the witnesses. Well, there was no witnesses, And,
unless you want to call the dogs.
And,
unless you want to call the animals in court. Now, how many acres do you have?
I have about 3 acres out here.
And he has the landlord guy already has basically the judge and the sheriff in his pocket. This is what I'm talking about, people. This fellow citizen here is up against a juggernaut of corruption. There's no way she can win. Because you know what? They had the county attorney's been after me since 2005, and he forced
government papers, the final judgment, the judge gave me 60 days to get their tags. I had them before 30 days, and he said I was in contempt. And you could see on the paperwork where, you write out the number 60 and then you have the number 60. Well, he changed one, but not change the other because he was trying to nail my ass. But I had it before 30 days, and they still said I was in contempt, even lying about me. But the last incident they did is they took a couple of my shepherds, because they always want your shepherds, to work for the sheriff's department.
Yeah.
So they took, and anytime they took my animals, they were always healthy, never charged me with the crimes or cruelty, neglect, abuse, nothing like that. But they put my life through hell. But the county attorney sat there and said not to give me my dogs back because I was going in there to get them because I was in jail for 165 days. And you know what? I never even was in jail. I never been in jail. I don't have a record. So he lied on this paperwork, which is a felony. It's 175.25 point something. I think it was 1 or something. But it says any government official that lies about you and it's not the truth is a felony. And then he writes out a document and tells other people it's another felony. So the county attorney has so many felonies, and you can't find an attorney to fight against the civil attorney. Because, what would the county do without an attorney to, screw over everybody, But
see,
that's what I'm facing. And it's just disgusting. I just can't leave people alone. And the harassment, I know what it felt like. And it makes me even stronger to work in space. But, there was a man on the roof when all this happened. And you don't ever hear about that, and the cop, you could see in a video where he looked up on the roof. But I'm just really upset that they're letting these people like Carrie, they let him go, and he was involved in it, and they let the driver go, and she was involved in it. She got knocked up by Holder, right?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, she got knocked up by Holder. Well, what a sick thing. So anyways, Tanisha and Holder were supposed to be an item, and I guess he tossed Tanisha to the side. But, it's really interesting. I don't know. I went to your talk show because I was searching. I had a video of the FBI sitting there saying, honest to God's truth, sitting there saying that the two closest women to Nipsey were informants, and T.I.'s an informant, by the way, that were targeting Nipsey, to kill him. And the two closest women would be Tanisha and Lauren. So, and now Lauren's with her ex. This is so much gossip. Lauren's with her ex, so, and they split up. Nipsey and her, they split up. So I'm wondering if that had anything to do with it, about her messing around with her ex or anything like that, because now all of a sudden he's the picture, but I think she was upset for the fact that she took up acting and she was in bed with these guys, this guy, and it was so disgusting, and I know that must hurt me really bad, having her do that. I could never do that if I was in love with somebody,
Right.
Acting was out the window.
But how would one deal with that? Doesn't that come with the territory? Think about it, Wolves. If you're an actor, or you're not the actor, but your partner's the actor, and they have to do scenes, these love scenes, it almost comes with the psychological damage of seeing someone you care about in the arms of another. But they get compensated with a few million bucks. What does that say about you?
They all got paid off. Look at Cowboy. He was the parking lot sweeper, with the broom, how did he get his car? Everybody ripped off Nipsey. Sam must be going out of his mind dealing with all these corrupt people, that are vultures.
Oh,
yes. It's mean.
So, how when did you start your research, and how did you get to information pertaining to this?
Oh, I find it every which way, but I've been doing cases forever. I just, because of my cases, I mean, I just habitually just got involved in cases, and when I see something that's wrong, I'm out for the people, because
right, Wolves.
I don't like a system. I mean, what we need to do is get these people out of the chairs they sit in, because all they're doing is destroying everybody's household, and get somebody that's honest that wants to do their job in the seat that they sit in.
Correct.
And I mean, they even made me tear down my motorhome in my backyard. So I lost 2 motorhomes with the county, a brand new truck I just got. I had my sports cars. I lost all them. I had a trailer filled with computers to give to the children. My bedroom was burnt, set on fire. I have a block home.
Wow.
I don't live in no trailer, but I have a big house in Florida where I help people, the elderly, the handicapped, and the disabled, and the homeless, and the vets, animals and wildlife.
See, this is what I'm talking about, Wolf Eyes. On this show, we're trying to build a network of people all over the world that helps human beings and animals and plants and this planet, because without a true path for our survival, the people that's abusing you, oppressing you right now in secret, because most people don't know about your story, Wolf Eyes. They don't know about your suffering. Those people are going to start oppressing the listener. They're going to start oppressing the viewer, because corruption grows like a cancer. And the more that we forget that it's not there, we pretend, it don't exist. Then this is when
there's so many people that are so gullible. They think the cops are all honest and everything like that. It's like, give me a break. They're the worst criminals out there.
Wow. Now that's not me saying it, folks. But we have to concur.
It's me saying it. It's a fact. I mean, it is a fact. They lie. I mean, so if you could, what I would do? This is what I did do. And I want everybody to hear me, and hear me really, really close. Because when you can't fight these idiots that torment you, what you do is you sue them.
Wow.
If they lie about something, that drops your immunity. So say you're in trouble with animal control, okay? And you got somebody coming out to your house lying about you, or even if they don't come out to your house and they're still lying about you, what you do is you take that person and you sue them at least 5 times each. So I had 30 cases going to the court. I said, you want a piece of me? You're going to get a piece of me. I'm suing you off for not more than one charge for each one of you guys, So I put 30 cases in, and, by the time it was done, the county had to pay for 30 attorneys to cover each one of my cases. So were the dogs really worth it?
No. No.
So I made it to where, you want to mess with me, you're going to get it back, So anyways, they haven't bothered me since.
They haven't, because you hit them economically. You hit it where it hurts. They don't care if you sit there and walk in front of the county place with a picket sign. That don't mean shit. You took it. But the bad thing about the suing thing, if they got the judges in their pockets, what you gonna do then, Wolf Ice? What you gonna do?
Yeah, you can't do anything. So I just sat there and put in 30 cases against them, and it goes on their record. So, they're going around stealing everybody's animals just to profit off of them. What a sick thing. Go buy your own animals.
This is something also I want to add, because on this show, I talk a lot about how they use poor people, poor white folks, poor blacks, poor Asians in medical experiments. Do you not understand, people, that some of these animals that they confiscate goes to secret projects? If you think they experiment on us humans, they also experiment on animals too, in secret. This is a corruption. This is the culture of death that I'm always talking about, that the government, the world, the society has wholeheartedly embraced. They don't care about real people like Wolf Eyes, myself, and others. They don't care about us. They do care about the Caitlyn Jenners of the world. They do care about the Jeffrey Epstein. And speaking of Jeffrey Epstein, Wolf Eyes, did you ever follow his case?
No, because I'm too busy with the animals. No, I just happened to see Nipsey's case and started working on it like night and day.
No,
yeah, because I know a lot about that case.
Now, you say the primary reason for what for the record, what was the primary reason for the event?
Which event?
Nipsey Hussle. Yeah, Nipsey Hussle. What was the primary reason for his death?
For greed. They figured he was worth more dead than alive. You know, I mean, he was a great man. I mean, who would be stupid enough to kill him? You know, I mean, wow. I hope they fry Holder, but I just see with snitching. See, people are avoiding listening to what snitching is going to do. It's going to let him walk. He's going to say it was a temporary insanity that he did this. Okay, but it wasn't about snitching. It was about premeditated murder. It was, he wrote a song about killing Nipsey and had Nipsey in the video. He was talking about Nipsey in his song that he wrote and asked Nipsey to hear it, and he said no. And another thing that really gets me mad about the paramedics, okay, they come here to trap. I mean, you know, I mean, are they come? But the thing is they're doing chest and whatever you call it on Nipsey. Right. Well, the fact was Nipsey got shot in the chest that collapsed his lungs. Okay, what the shit did right then and there, because I had collapsed lungs, is run a tube in his side into his lung so the poor guy could breathe. And they didn't do that. And I feel as though Nipsey's family should sue the paramedics, because that was the reason of his death. Was he was suffocating. You can't talk. When you talk, you exhale. Right. Okay? If you can't exhale, you have no air in your lungs, you can't talk at all. And I feel like they were guilty of letting this poor guy die. And there's a photograph of 7 cops around the hospital bed where Nipsey laid, smiling, okay? I would have wiped the smiles right off their faces. They would be fired. You know, that's not the appropriate action that cops should do around the death of somebody, you know, sit around their hospital bed and smile, you know? I mean, that aggravates me so bad.
But Wolf Eyes, we've had pictures of cops holding up dead victims like they're game trophies, like, oh, I bagged me a buck. We have tons of pictures in this behavior of a culture of racist, brutal behaviors, specifically focused on black males, and for the most part,
I cry over it. I'm Native American, and I don't like to be segregated, you know, with the black people, because I feel for them. It's like, oh my God, you look at a child and you think, well, what is their lifespan with all these crazy cops out there? You know, but then again, I wouldn't be the parent that would raise my kid around crime. You know, I mean, that's just, you know, you have to be.
But when you say that, though, how can, as a parent, though, when you make that statement, I wouldn't raise my children around crime, as that would imply that the parents are complicit in the child's behavior of criminality. But when we break this situation down, if the parents never had resources, because you being a Native American, you understand how resources were taken from minorities and placed in the hands of white folks so that they can maintain economic superiority, which would cement the racial superiority in the society. And in other words, Wolf Eyes, if your folks had no money, then by default, baby girl, you are going to be raised in a criminal element, because you have to eat. You have to put some sort of food on your table. And everyone's aware of this, but no one wants to speak about it because it's terribly unpleasant.
I've been poor, and there's ways of going around stuff, you know, because I have no.
Have you
at
ever
all.
been
People
poor
don't
in a,
donate because they think I'm some kind of superwoman or something. I don't know what it is, but
but Wolf
I don't
Eyes?
get donations. I wish I did,
Wolf
because I
Eyes,
really
have
needed
you
it.
ever been poor in an urban environment? Now, if being poor in the country is different. Now, out here in the country, you can go and shoot a squirrel. You can go down there to the creek and grab a fish. You can go out there and pick some blackberries and mulberries or whatever you need to pick. But have you ever been poor in an urban environment?
Yeah, I've been poor all my life. I live off the
99% of
grid,
us have too.
I mean, I tell you, I make it though. I make it. It's
No,
you
but you've
just
always
got
been
to
able
gear
to.
up
But you've
and
always been
say
able to
this
keep
is
dignity.
not for my children, to live in. And then the whole thing is LA, okay? LA. I hear on the news all the time. It comes through on my computer. LA, and LA's on TV, and there's so much crime in LA, it's not even funny.
And
But see, that
homelessness.
was another thing in one of Nipsey's songs. He was putting down the president because the president went there to the marathon store, and that I think he has something to do with the towers that are going up. Because he goes on TV, he said on TV, "Oh, I love LA." It's like, stay out of LA. They don't need you there. I mean.
But now, when we getting back to the issue of Nipsey, getting back to the consequences, because apparently I'm in the Midwest. All right, I'm out here in the heartland. Until Nipsey, was assassinated or murdered, I never heard of him. Never heard the name before in my life. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not. But then I found out about what he was trying to do, how he was trying to help the kids, how he was trying to help people in general, how he was trying to get people well and fit. All right. This government does not want a well-informed public. They do not want fit, healthy adults. What they want are arrested development mental drones. Folks that will get up, go to work, not cause any problems, take the abuse that their supervisors and the boss and the CEOs and shareholders give them with a smile on their face. But I'm telling you, Wolf Eyes, that's not going to work. This country is boiling. They call it a melting pot. It is a boiling cauldron of hate, misogyny, homosexuality, pedophiliality, and corruption in general. Because you look at all of our politicians, whenever they realize they could tax the American people and there's a pot of money, a gold that they can tap into, and they have the authority to, and they'll tap into it and give to their people, to their families, like Hillary and Bill Clinton. A couple of little redneck fucks, they come up, they make some money, and they engage in insider trading. Whereas you and me, talk to Martha Stewart about this, we'll go to jail for the very same activities. That's known. Yeah. That is going on right now, sister, as we talk. All right?
Yeah.
We are peons. We are peasants. We are the serfs. Yeah. We are slated to be deleted. On this show, I often talk about them putting black folks on trains and exterminating us, just like they did in Nazi Germany. After they do us, they're coming right for you. I want you to know this. After they do us, they're coming right for you because you are not worthy by their standards, sister, not mine. I want you to live.
Yeah,
I want you to have prosperity. I want you to have them animals. I want you to give them dogs love and live your life on that little 3 acres of heaven you got down here that's yours by, deed. I want you to enjoy that. But they don't, sister.
Yeah, I don't listen to what they say. They can all go to hell as far as I'm concerned. I mean,
but before they go to hell, they're going to make your life a hell. That's what I'm saying. We have to work together. We have to build this thing to ensure that we have what is due us, and that is liberty, justice, and dignity. That's it. But if we don't work together, if we don't come together as U.S. citizens, if we don't come together as human beings, if we don't come together as children of God, then you know what, sister?
Exactly.
We're doomed.
I know it. Yeah, it's sad. It really is. I think about it every single day. I think about it every single day. It's just terrible what's going on.
If you had the power, sister, what do you think you could do? Use your supercomputer, your mind. What do you think you could do to solve some of the social problems and world problems? And I'm going to shut up and let you talk.
Well, I wouldn't stand back and take it because I've done that for years, trying to do it the legal way and every other way. And for one, the attorneys don't do anything for you. They just grab your money and they don't even return your phone calls or anything like that. The attorneys, all they want is easy cases anyways, where they could rip off an insurance company or something. That's the ones they do pro bono. But I would tell them, to get a hold of me and let's get on it. Let's start suing them back, because whatever their greed is it going to be worth it after you put 30 cases into them? Hey, no, it's not going to be worth it to them because they have to pay it, So I would just tell them to get a hold of me because I've got their back, and like with Nipsey's case, I would go after them, and what really aggravates me, what really bothers me from day one is I didn't see anybody crying, and they said that when their religion, that they believe in the spirit and everything, that he was like reborn again and whatever. But you know what? The Virgin Mary cried over Jesus dying on the cross. You know what I'm saying? She didn't say that there was a spirit or anything like that. I mean, if it was my son that died, I would be bawling my eyes out. I wouldn't even be able to talk in public. I would just be so heartbroken. But I mean, that's why everybody's confused at first, because they thought maybe it was fake, maybe it was fake, his death, So,
Well, let me ask you a question, Wolf Eyes. Let me ask you a real question. All right, because we all know that Jesus is supposed to be coming back, right? So it's really imperative that we know who to look for so we don't get deceived. Very simple question. Right. What color was Jesus?
Oh, who's to say? I mean, what color he was? I just believe in I believe in God and I believe in Jesus. But
what color was he though? What would he look like? Would he look like Barack Obama, George Bush, President Trump, Kim Jong-il? Would he be Asian? Would he be Latin? Would he be European? Would he be sub-Saharan African? These are important things because if we don't know what to look for, then don't know what to expect. If you think Jesus is supposed to be Asian, but these dudes who look like they're white saying, "Hey, I'm Jesus," then you know that they're a lie, right? So it's really imperative. That should be on the utmost of knowledge. Yeah, well, Jesus should have kinky, nappy hair. Jesus should be copper colored. He should be black because he's in the desert. He's not blue-eyed. That's a recessive trait. We know that by genetics. Jesus was black. Reality. Yeah. Adam and Eve. What color were they? What color was Adam and Eve, Wolf Ice?
I don't know.
You don't know? Well, I'm going to help you. They were black. Genetically speaking, you can't make, you or any white person cannot make a black person. But black people can make white people. Adam and Eve were black. See, it's really funny because when you break that down to some white folks, suddenly they want to become atheists. Oh, well, then that whole Bible is just bullshit fairy tales. We're going to go with evolution. But even there, where do you come from? You come from Lucy. Oh, where was she at? In Africa. Oh, what? 3 million years ago? So black. There's no escaping it. The only way to escape this reality is to fabricate your own. And to solidify that fantasy, you envelop it in hate. Meaning that if you talk against it, you die because you know that bullshit can't stand on its own. It can't. The lie always crumble like a paper tiger to the truth. The truth is every human being on planet Earth right now came from, as some would say, the God divine black female. Because it was through that DNA that this conversation right now, Wolf Eyes, millions of years after the fact, through the grace of the Most High God, allows to happen. You are my sister. You are my cousin. You are genetically, out of all the creatures in the whole universe, not just this little tiny dot, Earth, out of all the creatures in the universe, me and you share a real, tangible blood history. Some in love, most in hate. But it's through that blood is how all of us humans are able to communicate, able to show emotions and rational thinking towards each other. The haters is the ones who are the gatekeeper to our happiness, the ones who would keep us separated based upon the colors of a crayon box, based upon what's between your legs, based upon what's in your very blood that you had no control over, determines how I treat you in society, determines how I deal with you in banking, determines how I put on my religious dogma to you. Because until today, I would quite sincerely think that you probably thought that Jesus was white, that Adam and Eve had to be white. And you never even contemplate, then where did the black people come from? I mean, seriously, where did they come from? If we know that genetically speaking, once melanoid is gone from the DNA and RNA, and all you are is basically albinoid, but a functional albinoid, then you know that melanization, which is a pigment of the skin, is gone. It can never come back. So therefore, Adam and Eve, if they were white, then black folks must be some sort of alien. They must come from the stars. The Native Americans must come from another realm. Because if you have a blue-eyed, blonde-haired woman, blue-eyed, blonde-haired man, you will never get brown eyes, green eyes, or any other eyes, or any other hair color or texture from them people. And that's reality. Now that you understand that, you look at the Catholic Church with a different eye. You look at the Jews, for instance. You know that a Jew that is truly a Jew written of in the Bible is not Benjamin Netanyahu. It's not any of the Jews running Israel right now. Those people are Europeans. Those people are converts. They basically assume the role of a Jew, just like Elizabeth Warren. I'm Native American, yeah. Take a DNA test. She don't have a lick of Native American blood. All right? Yeah. This is the game that's being played on poor white folks to keep you miserable and upset. And then now that the game is coming to an end and you are reaping legal repercussions, oh, you better get them dogs in check, wolf eyes. You better do your everything to the 100 degree because we're watching you. And I'm the sheriff. Now you know you're a peasant, right? Now you know you're a serf, right?
What one sheriff did to me, he had somebody rape me.
What?
To try to get me out of here. And every time there's a case here, they don't do anything for me. You know, I don't have any rights.
Because you are slated for deletion. Hear me, wolf eyes.
Yeah, I know.
Sister, you are slated for death. Hear me.
Yeah.
Once they kill me, they're coming for you. You are not of the chosen. You are not of the desired.
They're coming for me first.
Well, let's work together, wolf eyes. Let's work together and put these sons of bitches in their place. Let's work together.
Yeah.
Let's unite and fight back. Let's do that. I don't want to die, sister. I don't want to die, but I need your help.
Yeah,
I need your help.
Let's be best of friends because we can make this work.
Yes.
See, I think street smart and I think book smart. Okay?
There it is.
So book smart doesn't get you anywhere. You got to think street smart to really get to them. You know, like I did. You know, it's not normal for somebody to throw in 30 cases against the county. You know,
it's not.
It's just, even if you lose, you still win. Because they had to pay for 30 attorneys to take them on. So you still win. So if they want to mess with you, you got to put it to a stop.
Exactly.
You know, especially when you haven't done anything wrong. You know, I mean, they just pick up all these lies and, you know, then you've got, you know, our sheriff, I mean, he's a good looking guy, but he's so corrupt. He's got cars out there that look like comic books. And our taxes went up. Our taxes went up $200 just for these stupid cars. I mean, he's got every toy you can possibly imagine, you know, and to me, it's not necessary to do your job.
It's not.
You know, and I get upset over the whole thing. That's why I tend to my animals, because I don't have to deal with the drama of all these corrupt people.
But I gotta shock you now, Wolf Eyes. When you say that, all you're doing, you're becoming an ostrich. You're putting your head in the sand, and that exposes your rear end to being, well, abused. Pull your head up out of the sand. The animals will be better off if you're free, you're liberated, and that land can't be taken from you. The animals will be better off if you don't have the stress of these ass hats over here on the sides messing with you, and you will be better off as well.
Yeah, because if you were to look at my name and go under civil, you'll see I lived in the courthouse. I mean, they tormented me bad. I mean, really bad. I feel for Sam. I really do, because I know all these vultures are coming out of the woodwork. And I really wish I could talk to him, you know, because he doesn't understand I'm on his side. I'm on his side. I'm on the family side, even though it doesn't look like it, maybe with a couple members of the family. But I'm on his side. I just feel for Nipsey. I just feel like there's a man that was everything to everybody, and somebody foolishly, stupidly killed him. And I hope he doesn't walk, because I'm here doing this all night long. I mean, I'll stay up 24 hours working on this case, because I don't want to see him walk. I don't want to see him walk. I don't want to see the driver walk. I don't want to see Carrie walk. I don't want to see Cowboy walk, because number one, Cowboy hid evidence. Cowboy went with the snitchy thing. Okay. That's to hold her walk. You know, Cowboy didn't mention, oh yeah, he wrote a song. He came and asked Nipsey to listen to it, and he said no. You know, that was meditated murder.
But you know what?
So
here's the trick.
Cowboy's hiding a lot of facts that, you know, Cowboy is an accessory to murder. And,
here's the trick, though. If we could change the root of what the causation of the whole thing, if everybody had true economic viability, if everyone had true liberty and true ability and capacity to live the lives that they want, you wouldn't have Nipsey Hussles, you wouldn't have criminals, you wouldn't have gangsters. You know why? People would be too busy enjoying their lives and their loved ones to want to run around and mess with anyone else. Until we deal with the systematic racism and hatred that's in the very heart, and I would almost argue DNA of some folks in power, what we're talking about is irrelevant, because there will be another Nipsey Hussle, there'll be another Mike Brown, there'll be another Dylan Roof, there'll be another Timothy McVeigh, there'll be another Adolf Hitler, and there'll be another Dr. King. There'll be another, but the same people who maintain power will remain the same. All these martyrs and bullshit will come and go, but the people who have the power remain the same. And the people who have the power, well, who is that? Well, would that be the people who run the Federal Reserve? Or would that be the people who finances the other countries in their central banks? Oh, would that really be the kings and queens of the world and little warlords and little cartel gang lords? Oh, and would that also be pedophile billionaires that, you know, basically abuse the working class and lower wealthy children? Would that be them?
Yeah.
But you know what? We're too busy worrying about a UFO sticking some rectal probe up somebody's asshole, huh? Or we're too worried about Michael Vick fighting some dogs in the backyard. And by the way, you do realize his dogs were given to a woman that runs a satanic church. Google that sometime. Michael Vick's dogs were donated to a white woman who runs a satanic church. So, you know, until we start loving humanity more than we love our so-called race, or till we love our so-called religion or so-called economic status, I hate to tell you this, Wolf Eyes, nothing's going to change. It's going to be the same. There's different players of the game, but the people running the thing will remain the same.
Mm-hmm.
And on that, we're hit the time. We hit the time. I just want to tell you, thank you, Wolf Eyes, for coming on the show today, sharing your information.
More of you.
Yeah, I mean, and share the show. You know, the thing about my show is it's organic. This is true grassroots. This is true unscripted, but it's truly interesting. And I think that people actually get something out of this content.
Yeah. Well, I'm really honored to talk to you. And I hope that we can help each other, you know, from here on out. So.
Right on. It's about the future. Fuck the past.
Yeah.
It's about the future. We are in the now. And in the now, we can sculpt, change, rearrange, or fall prey to the same old game with the future. But it's up to us. That's freedom of will. This is free will.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
yeah, I know. I love your show. And thank you for having me on.
You're
and
welcome.
I hope that I can help anybody that comes my way. So, I mean, they can call me. Can I leave my phone number?
Go ahead and say it. I'm not going to stop you. This is free speech.
All right. My number is 352-293-5866. If there's any way I can help you, I have like 3 shops or outside, you know, that I have away for people that need stuff. All kinds of stuff out there. It's all free. If there's anything I can do to help you, I will. So
bless you, Wolf Eyes. Bless you from the Most High. Bless you for being a sister and a servant of God.
Well, thank you. I tried.
Well, on that note, huh?
What?
Oh, that's what I was saying. On that note, I'm gonna end the show here.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
For having me.
Yes, Yao. You know, look, this is what this show is about. It's making a fundamental difference in one mind at a time. And I sincerely thank you, Wolf Eyes. Thank you for trusting me to be on the show and having a real conversation and sharing your information. This has been TPIM SR Live, baby. Today's date is September 20th, 2019, the year of our Lord. I ask you sincerely, live your life of integrity without hate, envy, or greed. And as always, brothers and sisters, let's try to be kinder to each other. And before I go, thank you for all you guys showing up. Sister Kathy, Brother Leonard, and the rest of y'all. DJ, I see you over there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are all a blessing. And I thank the Most High for you all. Peace, power, unity, and victory for humanity. I'm out.